across our area, filtering into northwest Florida. And we see that right now looking at dew point temperatures dropping through the 50s. Just 24 hours ago, we were actually right around 70 degrees for a dew point. So again, things looking much, much better out there. I hope you had a good night last night. Hopefully you got some beneficial rainfall, although most of us did not, other than basically Bay County was one of the few places that saw a lot of rainfall. My partner in crime, meteorologist Dan Nyman there, clicking away, getting things up and running. And how are we doing today?
Well, I won the rain lotteries. That was pretty good.
Yeah, how much?
A whole lot of it came
Oh,
down.
that's right. We don't know how much you got because you don't have a rain gauge.
Yeah, that's a bit of a mistake on my part, but I would say a lot fell. That would be a pretty good descriptor. It was coming down in buckets on the rooftop. My car was clean this morning, or at least all of the dirt and sand that had built up on the top of it, at least, had kind of washed away. So that was nice. And the weeds are growing.
Yeah, I had 9/100ths of an inch of rainfall in my rain gauge. So I didn't do all that well, but there are other folks that did a lot better than, or a lot of folks that did worse than me. So I'll take my 9/100ths and cash it in.
Yeah, at least the most important part is it looks like maybe next week, better opportunities. Maybe we get to share the love a little bit more too. We'll definitely forecast potentially higher totals than what were forecast for last night with just that one storm producing stuff.
Yeah, it was just one band that trained on itself. And like we said, Bay County won the rain lottery last night. Although not all of Bay County, but yeah, I like that. I like the look of things for next Tuesday, at least right now. Now, I mean, we're a week away, but at least there's something there to give us hope that maybe an inch plus of rainfall could be moving in our direction.
Yep, we'll see how that works out. Obviously, a couple of opportunities coming there, and then of course, cold tomorrow morning. Not
Oh.
sure how much I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, we are going to get cold, and that was kind of the part of the graphic here was the dew point of 56 and the wind northwest at 9 miles an hour. That's that colder air mass that's filtering into our area. But still, it's comfortable enough at 66 on Panama City Beach that I'm looking here, and almost every table is full down at Sharky's. But at least as you look out towards the Gulf there, you see the waves rolling in this evening. Still pretty comfortable across our area. It will not be this comfortable tomorrow night. It will be a whole lot colder across our region. Here are my friends over at the Blue Parrot there on St. George Island, where similar story there. We got lots and lots of tables full. Dew point temperature there is still into the mid 60s. So that's the difference between up here and down here. So when we talk about rainfall, we have showers and thunderstorms still pushing over towards the first coast of Florida on live Doppler radar. The rainfall moved out of our area pretty lickety split, and we were dry pretty much all day with the exception of down into Franklin County. And that's where things stand right now with nothing in the way of any rainfall. Recapping last night, talking about the rainfall and how Bay County won the rainfall lottery. And you see there was a swath that wasn't very wide, about maybe 3, 4, 5 miles wide, that picked upwards of over 2 inches of rainfall, but it came in east end of Panama City Beach and pretty much right up 231. But at least a lot of folks saw some beneficial rainfall, and then you come out to my neck of the woods and hardly anything out there. And we widen out this picture and you see there's a little swath north of Mariana, but Mariana, you got squat last night. And then a little swath of 1,500ths to maybe a ½ inch of rainfall central Washington County. We had a nice little thunder shower there. And then much heavier rainfall up into southern Alabama. You can see a nice little swath there from a couple thunderstorms. But most of us saw very little rainfall, but at least some of us saw a whole lot of rainfall. Hopefully you saw a bunch of rain. Here are the temperatures right now, 60s across most of northwest Florida. But here's the story. Dew point temperatures continuing to drop across our region. Look at this, dew point 64. We talked about that towards St. George Island, but now we drop into the 50s across the rest of our area. Much drier air mass in place. Winds right now anywhere 5, 10 plus miles an hour across our coastal waters. Those small craft advisory in effect. We're up there right around 15 to 20 miles an hour And we're going to stay pretty windy there. As we move through the overnight hours tonight, there you see the cloud cover continuing to exit. And by morning time for the turkey trots, we will be looking at full sunshine, and that sunshine will be in abundance pretty much all day on Thursday. So our forecast for the rest of this evening will keep slowly clearing skies, temperatures dropping down from the 60s to the 50s and eventually down into the 40s. But look at these low temperatures tonight, Dan. We're going to see lows 30s and 40s for lows, and this will be the third coldest of the next 3 nights, because I think Friday morning and Saturday morning will be even colder.
Yeah, the positive thing, at least for us, is that while we're looking at cold weather, it's not the coldest we have seen, Chris. Obviously, we got that part out of the way with even a deep freeze, temperatures-wise, at least, in inland spots a couple of weeks ago. This time around, manageable cold temperatures, but certainly cold nonetheless for us here as we head in over that the next couple of days. Let me just take a quick second, see if I can't troubleshoot this black screen for you very quickly. Obviously, we're going to be watching for temperatures to stay cold here heading into the weekend, but fortunately things change pretty quickly as we work our way through the weekend, and by early next week, I think at least temperatures will feel a little bit better. Nope, that's not me, so let's pull Chris back up here. I don't know what I broke.
That's okay. I can take
It's always something.
I can take it from here, finish out the block, and you will. There's plenty to do in the next block. We got lots to talk about on Panhandle Weather Live at 6. Temperatures tonight, again, 30s and 40s. Most of us into the 40s. A few of us down into the 30s. Richard Millett. He broke away from Bay County and has found himself down on St. George Island, and he has himself a drone. Take a look at this nice view looking down the island and out towards the west there. Kind of a muted sunset this evening across northwest Florida because those clouds have been kind of slow to move out. Now they will move out overnight tonight. Meanwhile, we take this picture here, and this is the Upers up in the UP of Michigan. And if you look there, they're dreaming of their the beach here. At least I assume that's the beach. But if you look real carefully, they have the Panhandle Weather app, and it says snow is approaching your current location and may affect the area soon. They go into the app here, and sure enough, they got themselves a lot of snow, and at least the possibility up there in the UP of Michigan to get a bunch of snow. And you see that here as low pressure to the north, and they're just going to get funneled across cold air across the relatively warm lake waters, and we'll see the favored areas, Lakes Ontario, Erie, Huron, Superior, Michigan, all going to be dealing with the possibility of a lot of snowfall there. As we look over into the UP of Michigan, we'll definitely be talking about 8, 12 plus inches of snow across parts there. Down towards the Upers there, looks like they might be closer to maybe 4 inches of snowfall. But the Panhandle Weather app doing what it does. It follows you no matter where you are, if you allow it to, and will give you the forecast. Had someone else that they had put in a place in Washington as one of their favorite locations, and they got a notification that snow was coming starting, and sure enough, they checked the camera and there was snow in the location. So Jamie Joe up there in Calhoun County had it in her app, and good to see it works with snow. It had nothing to do with me, I assure you. Submit your photos and videos in the app right there. Submit photos and videos. We'll be sure to share them. We got everything all straightened away?
Yep, all good right here.
Okay.
Which is amazing because at 5:58 it was working, but now it's working again. So cross our fingers, take a quick break, and when we come back, I think I can handle talking some weather and actually be able to show you while I do so. How's that sound, Chris?
That sounds good.
Everyone has a ritual, that small thing that keeps us focused.
A habit we never skip to clear our minds and elevate our performance.
But what do you do to keep your head in the game, to drown out that self-doubt and support your mental health? Because being your best isn't just about taking care of your body.
It's about taking care of your mind and your mental health.
Discover the resources that you need to keep your mind focused and your mental health a priority.
Now is a great time for a new Toyota, where you can get 1.99% APR on a new Camry and get $500 in holiday cash. Get 3.49% APR on a new Corolla and get $500 in holiday cash. Get 1.99% on a new Tacoma, plus $1,000 in holiday cash. And 1.99% on a new Tundra, plus you'll get $1,000 in holiday cash. Visit our lot or browse online at Panama City Toyota.
Now, from your trusted team of meteorologists at Panhandle Weather, this is your evening forecast update.
Hey, and a good evening. I hope you're having a wonderful Christmas, Thanksgiving Eve here. I'm looking up when Christmas Reflection starts in Defuniak Springs. I saw it just the other day, and now Defuniak. I was just looking it up here because we're going to show you some Christmas lights here in just a moment. So let's see. I will tell you. Oh, it's November 20,
Christmas Eve.
November 28th. So yeah, I was right. So it's going to be Friday. At least when I say right, that's what I was thinking in my mind. So Friday until December 31st. We have Christmas Reflections. So Joseph Mandeville he's getting underway here with his Christmas lights. He's got the manger scene, got the house adorned with some lights there. A job well done. That's over on Peters Drive. Thank you very much for sending in that picture. And thanks to Coconut Creek Family Fun Park for submitting those pictures, or for sponsoring this, as well as Danny Riles Real Estate, who has that bus up in Bluntstown that has all the lights that there's no more bus that has that much Christmas cheer anywhere in the country. I'm pretty confident in saying. So, Dan, you want to go ahead and start things off, or you know what? I'll do travel, and then you can take over from there. Travel is looking pretty good across our region as we check out the area airports. The eastern United States is where we're seeing the bulk of the problems, but over into Austin and the two airports there in Houston looking pretty good. Up into parts of the Midwest, Kansas City, St. Louis looking okay. Up into Chicago, you see the lake effect snow up there causing some issues there at O'Hare. Meanwhile, up into the big airports, Newark, Philadelphia, Baltimore, Washington, tonight's delays up there into the moderate category, Newark and Philadelphia. Atlanta and Charlotte are looking pretty good right now. Now, when we talk about where we could see travel issues up across the UP of Michigan, we talked about the Great Lakes, the northeastern United States. Those are going to be your areas that we're going to be seeing some of those delays. Thanksgiving Day, primarily up into the Great Lakes, into the Pacific Northwest, northern tier of the United States for Friday. And then look at this on Saturday from Chicago down through Dallas. We could see some pretty active weather there. And so we'll be keeping a close eye on that. And so those are some of the areas that could be causing you a few travel troubles here over the days ahead. Now, more on this colder weather moving in. We go to meteorologist Dan Nyman there in the other side of the bridge there in Springfield.
Yeah, a couple of bridges away. I'm still going to keep boasting about my rainfall because it was much needed here over in my neck of the woods. Real dry and dusty out across Springfield, Florida. And obviously tonight we're not seeing any of that rainfall at the moment. We are, though, seeing dew point temperatures starting to drop. And this is one of the things Chris talked about when the show got started. As we look towards Panama City Beach right now, we're seeing those dew points drop down into the 50s at the moment, 57 degrees as you look outside over at some of the resorts. And as you get out there, though, still feeling pretty comfortable. Temperatures are starting to take that dip downwards, but we're still holding on to the mid 60s. And when you factor in the drier air and now that wind shift too, it's comfortable out there at Coconut Creek. I don't see any folks out on the course, but obviously there's a couple other holes that we could be seeing some folks out there here this evening. Here's what's happening, though, and what's going to be somewhat of a topsy-turvy sort of forecast over the next 7 days. A little bit of everything for everybody. If you like the cold, you're going to get it here in the short term. If you like warmer temperatures, we'll get closer or maybe just above seasonal averages by Sunday afternoon, but then better rain chances as we work our way into the start of next week. Obviously, had just one storm out there for yesterday evening, really overnight into this past morning, as we had that cold front starting to push through, and out ahead of that, a pretty decent amount of lift. Tonight, though, the radar all quiet. You have to go over towards the east, up across I-10, heading towards Jacksonville right now. You can see some showers and then some more activity, some general thunderstorm activity down into the southern part of the peninsula. Up towards the north right now, big low pressure system, not just producing some lake effect snow and a decent sized system here, sweeping through parts of heading through Michigan right now. You see some lake effect snow starting to become problemsome just south of Buffalo, I think, heading into tomorrow. And then, of course, the other thing with this that's been a big talker for meteorologists up in that region, real windy conditions as a result of that low pressure system as well. So we're kind of in the Goldilocks zone in the country right now. Obviously, change is coming, though, over the next 12 hours. Temperatures dropping down through the 60s at the moment, still about 68 degrees at Inlet Beach and 68 in Bluntstown as well. 71 in Tallahassee, but look up towards Crestview or back west into Pensacola. We're now down to 63 degrees. And dew point temperatures are falling as well. Temps over the last 24 hours compared to this time last evening. We're already 6 to 10 degrees cooler, and that's going to continue to drop here as we head through the overnight hours tonight. Just the last little slither of cloud coverage to deal with. By midnight tonight, that's pushing through the Forgotten Coast, and clear skies are coming in behind it. Pretty efficient conditions for temperatures to drop quickly, and they will do so as a result. You'll notice as we get through the rest of the overnight hours, 5, 6 o'clock tomorrow morning for the turkey trots, you'll find sunny skies, but obviously a big change in the feel that you're experiencing out there as well. And the winds will show a similar sort of story as we work through that time frame. We've now seen that wind shift, and it's 10, 15 miles per hour in spots, and that'll continue to sit in that same sort of range. Obviously, not quite what I think we'd call breezy here at Panhandle weather, but it will be noticeable, add maybe just a bit of bite to the cold temperatures as you get out there early tomorrow morning. So there you see north wind 10 to 15 miles per hour all throughout the day, much breezier over the Gulf too, so offshore conditions heading into the weekend could be just a bit rougher, but obviously we'll eventually find as the front moves further eastward, we won't see winds maybe quite as much of a story as we get through Thursday and Friday and on into Saturday. Either way, that's a contributing factor to cold temperatures, and obviously it will be cold tomorrow morning as you wake up. 46 degrees, Tyndall Air Force Base, Mexico Beach area, down into the southeastern corner of Bay County, Apalachicola, all the way down to 44 degrees. And we can't rule out an inland spots up towards the tri-state, your Alpha, Bluntstown, up towards Sneads, Two Egg potentially, down into the upper 30s very briefly just before sunrise. Same in Crestview, a typical cool spot here across northwest Florida where temperatures will be cool basically throughout the day. High temperatures right back into the 60s, but for some spots where you see the high of 60 degrees, I'm talking about Defuniak Springs or Bonifay or even back into Pensacola where that air mass is just a little cooler, you won't spend much of the day at that high temperature. 60s maybe sitting around for 2 or 3 hours, but otherwise it's 50s or even 40s depending on what time you get outside, so obviously a cool feel all throughout the holiday. Low temperatures for Friday, potentially a little more cool as we get that reinforcing shot of cold air throughout the day tomorrow, and you have a bit of a head start on cooling compared to tonight with temperatures only into the 60s compared to the 70s today. We'll find a good chance for some frost, and mainly areas north of the bays down towards the coast. We still hold on to that 40 or so degree range, 40 to 45, thanks to the temperature of the Gulf. Either way, chilly for our definitions, and the same could be said for Friday afternoon highs, where we might struggle to break out of the mid-50s in most locations. Heading on into Saturday, it's a similar sort of story. Probably the coldest morning out of this 3-day shot of below-average temperatures. There's an outside chance of a freeze briefly up towards Mariana and along that I-10 corridor as you work your way towards Highway 20, a little closer towards the mid-30s outside of Bluntstown, which is another typical cool spot, and then the coast again, chilly, but not really problemsome, even as far as talking about frost concerns. This all sweeps through because of that big trough that's pushed through yesterday's rain and the cold front. You'll see here as we track the cold temperatures, the big dip in the jet stream is going to stick around for the next probably 72 hours for us here, helping to reinforce and continue to punch through those cooler temperatures from up towards the continental part of Canada there. Eventually, though, we will turn the corner, and that ridge of high pressure you see back towards the west coast will just faintly become present. We'll kind of settle in towards a zonal flow west to east here for the weekend. that'll be enough for us to moderate things and at least enjoy seasonal conditions with a mix of sun and clouds hanging around over the course of Saturday and Sunday. So, as far as the forecast for tomorrow's activities, the turkey trot obviously coming for us here in just a few hours' time. Folks probably getting to bed early for that one. I certainly would be myself. You'll notice the temperatures tomorrow morning for that part of the forecast are going to be cool even with the sunshine. And as we get towards that, we'll start our day off inside of the 50s. Your Thanksgiving forecast, continuing to see temperatures here again. You see just about 60 degrees briefly for the afternoon. Otherwise, it's sunshine, but you're only holding on to the 50s across the area. Black Friday, a similar story, a little cooler out there. You'll be shopping for a coat if you don't have one to wear heading out the door, because even through the afternoon hours, you'll see temperatures into the upper 50s. Mix of sun and clouds, increasing cloud coverage as we work our way throughout the day. Then for football forecast Friday night, Choctaw at St. Augustine, closer to where I went to college there, Chris. Temperatures going to be chilly all throughout, 46 degrees at halftime, and then obviously you'll need to bundle up for that one if you plan on attending. Bluntstown playing as well, 45, dropping to 44 degrees, and again, the cloud coverage increases, so we won't enjoy complete sunshine over the next several days, but obviously a mix of sun and clouds gives you some opportunity to see that sunshine poke out. Beach home for the holiday, of course, continuing for Friday and Saturday. Similar story, bundle up for the evening hours, the afternoon. You might shed a layer, but for some, tolerance of cold temperatures is certainly going to make it feel cold all throughout the day over the next 3. And then rain chances as we adjust from this trough to then zonal flow, and then eventually maybe another weather maker moving in for Sunday night into Monday. We'll see rain chances pick back up, and I'll bring back Chris for that because the forecast for rainfall going to be kind of an interesting part of what we talk about here heading into next week. We are expecting a decent amount of it, probably too early to talk about impacts as far as potential for strong storms go, but there are some early signals at least for some decent wind shear out there, so certainly if temperatures were to rise just a bit from where we have them forecasted right now, there might be an opportunity for some thunderstorm activity alongside the rain chances as well.
Yeah, and we're talking, it's still about a week away, so as Dan mentioned, a little too early to get into the nitty-gritty, but at least some hope for some decent rainfall, and we'll see about severe weather. But you can see the rainfall chances across our area going to be highest as we head into next Tuesday. Also, the turkey trot over in Mexico Beach, one of our folks were asking about that. Tracy was asking about the weather, and it'll be chilly for sure. You'll be into 40s. It's at 8 o'clock, so you'll be into the 40s at the start of the race and top out. 5K should take you, a little under 30 minutes, probably thereabouts. So you'll probably stay in the 40s to maybe 50 degrees for the turkey trot in Mexico Beach. We'll see sunshine as we move through Thanksgiving. High pressure builds in, so I think by Friday our winds die down as it builds in overhead. We keep the sunshine, but notice as that high moves away, here comes the cloud. Comes the moisture, cold front out to the west, and you can see the showers and thunderstorms looking pretty good, and then as they move in, they just kind of fizzle out. So our rainfall amounts, I think, with the Sunday, Monday time frame, probably not a lot, at least a chance of some rain late in the day Sunday into Sunday evening, but don't get your hopes up because this first round just kind of moves through and fizzles out as it moves to the east. The better round comes in on Tuesday, so this is Monday morning. Notice there's the batch of rain that moved through on late Sunday that kind of fizzled out, but then watch down here to the south. There's your low pressure developing across the Gulf, moving up, and it depends upon where the low is and the warm front and all that is to severe weather. But look at this, at least it's a blob of green moving on through as we head through the day on Tuesday, and even possibly some snow for parts of the south. Of course, nothing anywhere close to us. So that will be what we watch over the next 7 days. Obviously, the best rainfall out to our west. 2 to 3 inches of rainfall out into parts of Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi. We have green on the map here, and we're talking probably in that ½ inch to about 1.5 inches of rainfall across our neck of the woods, and that's what the Weather Prediction Center has. You see 3/4 of an inch out towards Tallahassee, 1 inch along the 231 corridor, and 1.25 inches to 1.5 inches as you make way on over into Pensacola. So when we talk about some of the events going on, Aaron Besant Park, this is Saturday. Saturday will be the warmer of the 2 days for home for the holidays on the beach there at Aaron Besant Park, but both days will still be very nice. 60s, though, expected mainly for that one. Seaside has their Christmas parade on Saturday at 3, and then there's like all sorts of events throughout the late afternoon and evening. Temperatures will be chilly for that. That's on Saturday, 50s for that. And then as we look over the coming days, we have this cool down here that lasts through, we'll say Friday, Saturday, below average, but by Sunday, we're above average, Sunday, Monday, and then you see cooler again as we head into Tuesday, Wednesday. That's as that front begins to move in, so we could see another cool down on the backside of that. But again, flirting with freezing inland areas north of the bays, Friday and Saturday morning. The beaches don't have to worry anything about freezing temperatures, and I think the frost probably stays away as well. So as you look at that 7-day forecast, quiet weather the next few days. Most of Sunday will be fine. So if you're in town for the holidays, Thursday through Sunday, for the most part, fine. Maybe a chance of rainfall late Sunday. Small chance on Monday. Best chance of showers and thunderstorms on Tuesday there with another cool down. And you see how temperatures do cool down on Tuesday, and that's where the rub will be. Do we have enough instability? Do we have enough moisture to get some thunder boomers going, or does it just stay more of a soaking rain?
Yeah, there's obviously a whole lot of spread on the models. I spent probably close to an hour just trying to figure out the details of all of this. Trying not to wishcast too much myself about getting a good shot of rainfall, because obviously that's been back and forth. If you look at ensemble modeling, it's kind of fallen into that maybe close to 1 inch range for this whole event. But Tuesday will be interesting. I think if we find ourselves properly in the warm sector, there's an opportunity to see higher rainfall totals. That would be if the warm front were to move north of us. But I also feel like, Chris, I might have learned my lesson with warm fronts out of the Gulf after three and a half years here. They usually have a harder time moving north than maybe what models show, which might leave some disappointment or a little to be desired with rain totals.
Yeah, it can be a little different in the fall because you have warmer water over the Gulf as opposed to the stable, cooler water over the Gulf during the spring season. So, it's still possibly maybe a little bit to say like a spring event, but, we have plenty of time to kind of fine tune that. I got plenty of turkey to eat. And I think that should be everyone's focus. Certainly don't worry about severe weather or anything like that through the weekend. Just have fun with your family and enjoy the festive temperatures, because it will be chilly for sure the next few days.
Yeah, not just Thanksgiving to enjoy, maybe some shopping on Friday. I might do that on Amazon, to be honest. But then Saturday and Sunday, and even Thursday and Friday, good slate of college football games and NFL games. A lot of good rivalry matchups, and hopefully the Eagles can turn things around here with an offensive coordinator that's just about as useful as Mike Norvell.
Hey, it's who do they play this weekend? I'm trying to remember.
The Bears, 8-3 Bears.
8-3 Bears, yeah. Bears are actually, they're okay. I'm not sure they're all that great, but they're 8-3, and if I'm a Bears fan, I'm taking that. Florida State plays Florida. We have LSU is actually playing Oklahoma, so that's an interesting one. Of course, the Iron Bowl. All of those games, I have them on the channel on the weekend forecast wheel, and I posted actually forecast updates last night. Most of those games are pretty chilly. Florida State's the only one that's like 60s. Everything else is like pretty much like, 40s, maybe 50s. But the game in Norman will be interesting because it's going to be really, really windy for that one with LSU. But anyway, that's where things kind of stand right now. I'm going to say we probably don't need to do a show tomorrow night since it's Thanksgiving. Anyway, we can talk about that. But I hope everyone has a wonderful Thanksgiving. It's a lot to be thankful for, and the weather will be one of those things. At least it will put us into the holiday spirit for sure.
Yeah, we could be thankful for hurricane season almost over.
Yes.
Nothing this year. What a year.
Nothing. That's amazing. Good stuff.
All right, well, I'll catch you soon
Yes.
here. We won't fully commit to a Thanksgiving forecast, but if not, we'll be here maybe Friday, and then the channel, of course, is on 24 hours. a
Oh
day.
yeah.